Professor in LG Institute of Engineering and Technology in Department of Electronics and Communication. This video is about subject fiber optic communication. So friends, in this video we are going to learn about the optical amplifiers. Friends, we know about what is amplifier. To amplify the signal, we need to use the amplifier in general. As we know that the noise that can be also affected onto that, and that is why in between the transmitter and the receiver, there is a need of the optical amplifier in the optical communication. So, in this video, we are going to learn about the semiconductor optical amplifier and iridium doped fiber amplifier. So we are going to discuss about the optical amplifier. So very first, what is the need of the optical amplifier? So in order to transmit the signals over the long distances, that is greater than 100 km, it is necessary to compensate for the attenuation losses within the fiber. We need an optical amplifier. Initially, this was accomplished with an optoelectronic module, which consists of an optical receiver, a regeneration and the equalization system, and an optical transmitter that is to send the particular data. So, this function arrangement that is limited by the optical to electrical and the electrical to optical conversion. As we know that these are the conversions that is required in case of the optical communication. So, these arrangement that always we need to convert this. So, there is a device which will require to take care of all these functions. So, an optical amplifier, that is a device which amplifies the optical signal directly without changing it to the electricity, okay, and the light that itself the amplified. So the light amplification that can be done by the optical amplifier. So there are the various advantages, or you can say that the reasons that is to use the optical amplifier. So that are the reliability, flexibility, use of the fundamental of the wavelength division multiplexing, as well as the low cost. So these are the reasons to use the optical amplifier in case of the optical communication. So here you can see the simple diagram which consists of the optical transmitter, optical receiver, and between that you can see that the electronic amplifier, equalization, regeneration, these are all functions that can be done by the one device, so that the optical signal that may be inserted into the fiber, now optical receiver, optical transmitter and the optical amplifier. So this is again the simple diagram we can see, as well as the general form of the optical amplifier devices, that are the optical amplifier medium. Now the pump power that is given directly to the optical amplifier, and it will amplify the weak signal, and as an output of this optical amplifier medium we have the amplified signal. So we can say that this is the simplest diagram of understanding the optical amplifier function. So this is again the generalized optical amplifier. Optical input signal, that is pulses, fine, it is given to the couplers. So fiber to amplifier couplers are there at both the end of this active medium, and the pump voltage, the external pump source, okay, that is a continuous wave, okay, that is given to the active medium, and as an output you can see that we have the amplified pulse. So this is the simplest kind of the amplifier that can be used. So external pump source energy, which is absorbed by the electrons in the active medium. Now the electron that shift to the higher energy level and which will be producing the population inversion So this way the amplification process that can be done in the amplifier. So the photons of the incoming signal that triggers this excited electrons to the lower level through a stimulated emission process, and which will be producing the amplified optical signal. All optical amplifiers increase the power level of the incident light through stimulated emission process, which we have learned earlier. So alloy of the group 3 and the group 5, that are the phosphorus, gallium, indium, arsenic, semiconductor elements, which makes the active medium. So several types of the optical amplifiers that have since been demonstrated to replace the optical electronic, that is the electronic regeneration system, and this system that eliminate the need of the electrical to optical and optical to electrical conversions. Okay, so the classification of the optical amplifier, OA meaning the short form of the optical amplifier. So now here you can see in the diagram the optical amplifier which will be classified into the two categories, that are the linear amplifier and another one that is the non-linear amplifier. Again the linear amplifier which will be classified into the two categories, semiconductor optical amplifier which is denoted that is the SOA, and doped fiber amplifier, that is the DFA. Non-linear amplifier which will be classified into two categories, stimulated Raman scattering, okay, SRS fiber amplifier, as well as it is the stimulated Brillouin scattering amplifier, okay. So this is the SBS. This is again the classification. Now semiconductor optical amplifier, again it may classified into the two categories. One is the Fabry-Perot laser amplifier and the traveling wave laser amplifier. And the doped fiber amplifier, it is classified into the category, which is the one category, it is the erbium doped fiber amplifier, EDFA. So now, out of this particular the classification of the optical amplifier, we will learn few optical amplifier in this. So the some types of the optical amplifiers that have been demonstrated, and that include the semiconductor optical amplifier, then the another that is the erbium doped fiber amplifier, EDFA, Raman amplifier, and the wideband optical amplifiers. So we are going to discuss about the four amplifiers that are the SOA, EDFA, Raman amplifier, wideband amplifier. So in a laser diode, without the mirrors and the anti-reflection coating coupled to both the fiber end, light coming in either fiber is amplified by a single pass through the laser diode. So now this SOA, that is the alternative to the EDFA. Active medium which consists of the alloy semiconductor PGA-INAS. So it works on both the low attenuation window, that is the 1300 nanometer and the 1550 nanometer. The 3 dB bandwidth, that is about the 70 nanometer, because of the very broad gain spectrum. So it consumes the less power and has a fewer component. Okay, so the polarization dependent it is and require the polarization maintaining the fiber. So relatively high gain, that is around the 20 dB. Output saturation power, that is the 5 to 10 dBm. Larger bandwidth. It can operate at the 1300, 800 and the 1500 nanometer wavelength region. Characteristics of the SOA type. That is compact and easily integrated with the other devices. It can be integrated into the arrays. High noise figure, crosstalk level due to the non-linear phenomenon such as the four-wave mixing. The last feature which restricts the use of the SOA. So here you can see the diagram of the SOA, that is the active medium. Now instead of that there is a semiconductor cavity. Weak out optical signal, that is the input to this active medium, and output, that is what? It's an amplified optical signal, and the electrical drive current that is forced to this semiconductor cavity for the amplification. So this is about the SOA, semiconductor optical amplifier. Now the next is the iridium doped fiber amplifier. Now what is this? So iridium doped fiber amplifier, that is a device that amplifies an optical power signal, which will be used in the telecommunication field as well as the various research field. This EDFA that can be used. The EDFA that is doped with the material which is known as the iridium, and the term doping, that means to process of using the chemical elements to facilitate the results through the manipulation of the electrons. Now here is the diagram of the EDFA. We can see that the one particular signal, okay, through the isolator, okay, the optical signal which will be traveling into the one direction. The pump source, okay, that is the one, some laser diode that is used at the 980 nanometer. Now this pump source that is applied to the device, that is the WDM. Now this WDM, okay, through the signal which can be passed through the iridium amplifier, okay, and what happened? Again the output amplified signal which will be traveling toward the receiver, and we have the amplified output, okay. So this is a simple schematic diagram of the EDFA. So it has the amplification window which coincides with the third transmission window of the silica based optical amplifier, and in the third transmission window the two bands which are developed. Conversion of the C band, that is 1525 nanometer to 1565 nanometer. Long or L band 1570 nanometer to 1670 nanometer. As well as the optical amplifier which is doped with the rare earth element, erbium, so that the glass fiber can absorb light at one frequency and emit the light at the another frequency. An external semiconductor laser which couples the light into the fiber at the IR wavelength which enters 980 or the 1480 nanometer, and this action that excites the iridium atoms. Now the additional optical signals at a wavelength between the 1530 and the 1620 nanometer enter the fiber and stimulate the excited iridium atoms to emit the photon at the same wavelength as the incoming signal. So this action will amplify the weak optical signal to higher power, effecting a boost in the signal strength. Okay. So this is what it is, energy level diagram for the optical amplifiers. Okay. So for the pump band, okay, then after how the electrons which will be transferred from the lower level to higher level, how they are changing the particular wavelength, okay, so that everything it can be visible from this particular diagram. So the energy atoms in the silica are Er3 plus ions with 3 lost electrons in the orbit, and the missing of the ions to the higher energy level, that is achieved by the 2 pump level. So there are the 2 particular mechanism states are there. One is known as the metastable and another one that is the pump end. Okay, so these 2 particular states are there. So what is a metastable state? It is the state from which the lifetimes for the transition from this state to the ground state are very long compared with the lifetime of the states. And next is the Stark splitting. So the metastable state, the pump band state and the ground state levels are closely spaced energy levels that form the manifold is called the Stark splitting. So this is again the ground state level, okay, and the various state transitions that we can see. So now what is the first transition? The transition number 1 means the level number 1. The photon is used to excite the ions from the ground to pump level. Transition number 2. The transition number 2, that is the level 2, okay, and the excited ions that jump from the pump level to metastable level, and in this transition the excess energy that is released as a photon, mechanical vibrations. Transition number 3. In the level 3, pump wavelength, that is 1480 nanometer, and the energy in the state which is slightly higher than the previous state. Transition number 4. Transition number 4, that is level number 4, and the electron that tend to move down to the more populated lower end of the metastable state. Then the transition number 5. In level 5, the sum of the ions decay back to the ground state, which known as the spontaneous emission, okay, and the noise that will be added. Transition number 6. In the 6th level, external photons will be absorbed, that is stimulated absorption at 1550 nanometer in the ground state. Transition number 7. In the 7th level, a second stimulated emission process takes place and a single photon triggers an excited ion to drop to the ground state. Rarely emitting polarization is of the incoming photons. Okay. Now the EDFA architecture. EDFA configuration that purely on the pumping types. So that are the co-directional pumping, counter-directional pumping, dual pumping. So these are the three particular mechanisms. First is the co-directional pumping. Here you can see the diagram as well as the configuration of the co-directional pumping, which consists of the signal which will be input signal, okay, and the pumping source you can see, and it is given to the WSC, okay, the pumping laser, okay, passing through the EDFA, and another side we have the output. So everything that is in the same direction. So pump light which will be injected in the same direction as signal flow and having the better noise performance. Second is the counter directional pumping. Now here the counter directional pumping, you can see that the WSA and how the pump laser, that is the pumping source that is given to the device and how it will be passed from the other end, okay, so that this particular end to the signal input end. Here you can see that the pump light that is injected in the opposite direction as the signal flow and which will provide the higher gain. And the last one, that is the dual pumping. Dual pumping, you can see that over here the direction of the pump source, okay, that is given, okay, and here providing the gain that is around the 35 dB. So this is about the mechanism. Now we'll find out the power conversion efficiency and the gain. The input and the output power of the EDFA, which will be given by PS out, that is less than or equal to PS in plus lambda P upon lambda S PP in, where the PS, that is output power, PS out, that is output power, PS in, that is the input pump power, lambda P is the pump wavelength, and the lambda S, that is the signal wavelength. Power conversion efficiency, that is the PCE. So now what is the PCE? So PCE is the PS out minus PS in upon PP in. So that is equal to nearly equal to PS out upon PP in, which will be less than or equal to lambda P upon lambda S, that is less than or equal to 1. Next is the quantum conversion efficiency QCE. What is a QCE? QCE is at lambda S upon lambda P into PCE, that is a quantum efficiency. Now in terms of the power gain, okay, amplifier gain, G. So what is this gain? Gain is the PS out upon PS in, which will be less than or equal to 1 plus lambda P upon lambda S PP in into the PS in. So to achieve the maximum gain G, the PS in that should be less than or equal to lambda P upon lambda S PP in divided by the G minus 1. So the maximum possible EDFA output power, which will be given by PS out less than minimum of PS in E raised to P into sigma E into L into PS En plus lambda P upon lambda S PP into in. Okay, so this is about the equations related to the EDFA. So we have discussed regarding the two amplifiers, semiconductor optical amplifier and the erbium doped fiber amplifier. So we'll discuss about the other two optical amplifiers in the next video. So thank you very much everyone.